All right, so wanted to do this video now that I got this guy set up and I kind of understand what I'm doing. It took me a second. There's some features in here that are really cool and unique that I'll be using a lot more, and some that I probably won't use, but everything comes down to what you're doing with it. For me, the main reason to have this is primarily to be able to connect devices like the iPad, the iPhone, and the computer, and be able to send audio back and forth seamlessly without having to do a bunch of extra wiring, a bunch of extra cables, a bunch of dongles that tend to frustrate me more. I have these little $6 Amazon things that you can put your stuff on. I usually have the iPad on one. I'm laying it flat for this view of this camera, but that's what this is sitting on top of that. I like that a little bit better because if I'm standing, it's easier to see the screen even more so, and I can slide the faders up a lot easier and see where I'm going with it. This headphone jack up here, I figured out, is for this headphone. The second one is for the one on the back. So it's kind of nice that you got your headphones there. You can turn it up or down however you want. But then you also have the ability to be able to use these stands, which is nice. It fits perfectly on the stand with no issues. No more having to use this little to-go thing to try to connect and then plug the audio in last and doing all that is pretty frustrating, I'll be honest. The Apple has not fixed that with their own devices, that they can't get it to, they can get it to go out, but they can't get it to go in and out via USB-C, unless I plug in some type of audio device. So it costs you more money, of course, because you got to find something that will do that for you. This does not have to be the one. There are other ones. I looked at, there's Presonus Quantum that's out. I don't know the quality of it. You'll have to watch videos on it, on the quality. This one I know has really good quality, especially for your microphones and things of that nature. But the fact that it has the two USBs was a huge draw and something I feel like is really needed on a lot of audio devices, because people want to connect different devices and use different things. So that being said, here's a song I did in here. Just a little simple, whatever. It's not even much. But now you can see the audio's here. Now the catch to this is, if you're going to record into here, there's one catch that you have to do. You have to use these two mutes in order to be able to, let's see if you play it here. So, and then you can put your headphones on and play. So here's the other thing. I'm going to let you hear it, but so you see the second line here, this one right here, which on the screen, if you can, I don't know if you can see that screen. That is the MacBook. So I'm using Trillion for the bass. All right, so just so you can see that it does play. But here's what happens when you try to record in here. All right, we'll stop that there. You get everything, right? Because it's blending the two channels together. So in order to fix that, you have to mute. You either have to mute and put your headphones on. I'm not sure. Let's try it out together. If I press this one, will it let me play the track, record, and I believe the answer is no. So you do have to mute that track. So in order, that's just part of it, right? If you don't want your audio bleeding in, you're gonna need to mute it. So you have to mute it right there. And now you can play your audio, record in, and then, but you have to unmute it too to be able to hear it. But that's not a big deal. I mean, you're muting something just to record. And most of the time, if you're recording, you're not doing it live. You don't have to do. People won't be seeing you do all this, right? So let's do one more thing. Let's route it this time, but we're going to show you what it actually playing. And so to be able to hear it, that's going to be the negative side of this. If you're trying to do it through speakers, you're trying not to bleed the audio in. It's not picking up any mics because I don't have any mics plugged in technically, so you don't have to worry about that. But you will have to, mute your speaker if you're gonna, or listen through the headphones at least. So if you put your headphones on, I highly suggest having headphones. If you don't have that, that's the least that you need, right? But if you don't want to hear the speaker going off too, you could just turn that down. So you could touch here, turn it off. And now you don't hear the speaker. You could just mute it. You could just hold it down and then it'll mute it. That's one way to do it. Hold it down to unmute it. That's probably what I'll be doing because it's quicker. Just do that. And now you don't hear it, but I hear it in these headphones. So if I press play. Now, by the way, just because I mute this here does not mean I can't hear the audio still playing. It's still playing in the background. It's just not allowing the audio to pass through to here, right? So now I can click there and go. Right? And then I'm going to let you guys hear it so that way. So now you're going to be able to hear it because I'm going to turn it back on so you can hear it. So that was a bad note, whatever. You get the point. So now I made it seem like it's probably more than what it was, but let's, give it a round of applause. Excellent job, Rode. All right, that's enough of that. So now I used it just so I could say I used it. But yeah, just being able to do that is going to be extremely useful for my case. I'll get more use out of the iPad this way because I honestly wasn't using it much other than making a couple videos here and there. I would use it like to get started on something, send it over to Ableton and start working at Ableton. But now I can see myself, if I want a better instrument, just jump on the computer, grab the instrument, play it in, get everything done in here, send it back over. I still send it back over to Ableton. But if I don't want to work in Ableton, I could just use the instrument still and actually be able to pass the audio back and forth on a free form scale. Down the road, if I decide to use microphones for whatever reason, for maybe recording some vocal in, I have that. But here's the other thing that was a big decision maker on this one too, and that is the Bluetooth in this thing, being able to send audio. Now, I can't do it because I don't want to get copyright strike. Plus, I would have to connect the Bluetooth in here. I'd have to go into my settings and then I can't be showing all this up here, but yeah, if I connect the Bluetooth, I don't know why I still have the MPC key on there. I don't have it anymore. So hold on, let me forget that device. I don't want to show my information or anything like that. But if you go in here to the Bluetooth, so go to your settings, system, Bluetooth, it will search for devices, and then there it is. You can connect it, hit pair, and now you have your Bluetooth connected. When you go back out of here, so let's just close that, then you can go here. What you can do is you can sample from your phone, from whatever device you want, right? That's a Bluetooth device, the audio. That's huge, right? Being able to sample audio, because now you don't have to do screen recording if you don't want to. You could just sample the audio. You could of course, you could plug in through a mic line and just do a line in and do it that way too. That's pretty quick if you want, but having the Bluetooth makes it even nicer. So just for doing it purposes on here to say we did it, I could open up, let's do this here. Let's go to sample it. right here. And I'm going to pick a random song. Oh, definitely not that. We're going to get copyright. Definitely not that. Refresh. Okay, so I'm trying not to get a copyright, but let's see if we can do this. So I could, without even turning on the Bluetooth, I could legit just record it in because the iPad's connected. So anything I play now, if I press record here, all right, that's enough. So this was a big factor. The Bluetooth is not necessary, but let's say I'm on my phone and I want to find something to send to the iPad or send to the desktop or wherever I want to send it. I have that as another option to send things, right? But I don't even need that because with the iPad being plugged in, I can route the audio, any audio now. It's almost like having loop back on your um, iPad, which it doesn't have without this type of work. So now I can crop. We'll crop to the end here, and then we can just auto chop. And then I can go ahead and put these on a, I don't need any more choke group. I'm just gonna put them here. This is the worst chopping ever, but you get the point. You can just record in now and chop. So I'm gonna hold delete and get rid of all this stuff that I don't really need in here. Quickly, without having to screen record. And I didn't show you the Bluetooth, but the Bluetooth is connected. So in theory, even if it wasn't plugged in, let's say I want to leave this plugged in, I could use my phone and just record in via the phone. I mean, it's not even necessary to have the Bluetooth on technically, because you could do without it, but you get the point. You can, the options are endless when it comes to that. I'm trying to be putting my own personal information out there. I'm gonna remove the disconnected only because I don't need it right now. And yeah, so there's a lot of use cases for this. You could even do more if you're really into podcasting and you want to do that. You have that as an option. I didn't even show you guys on each one of these pads. You can do, so like if we go into here, let's say, and we go to smart pads, okay, and there is an edit function in here. Hold on, is it here? Yeah, so if you hit one, you can rename it, change the color, and you can edit. So this is just a one shot, right? Which can be looped, and you can adjust the volume. You could, or a toggle, like this one's a toggle, right? But you could do it on a hold, one shot. So I'm gonna put it on a hold. If I let go, it's like gated, right? So you could use these to trigger theme music. You could, if you had that kind of thing, you could use these to trigger loops. This one is a music. So you can put your theme music on. That's funny. It makes me laugh when I pressed it. The first time I heard it, I was like, what? But you could put your own music on, like make your own intro music and then have it on there uh, to do that. So there's so many options and things you could do. Some of this stuff you may not need. Some of it, like the recorder, if you're not recording in a bunch of um, instruments and you don't feel like moving those recordings off of a SD card, I wouldn't even mess with that, but that option is still there for you to use. So feel free to ask questions. I'll do my best to answer. It's only been a few hours, so I'm still learning things, but I will say that in the midst of it all, I'm finding nothing but good things to say about it. The sound is really good, as you guys already saw. And yeah, so there you have it. And that's the end of the video. I appreciate everybody who stopped by. I appreciate the clicks. Please keep checking in, clicking, commenting. Let me know things you have questions on, concerns, and I'll do my best to answer at any time. All right, I'm out.